So this is going to be the first deck in a line of a few deck techs that's going to explore a pretty interesting deck archetype that I ran into. We're going to be looking at this in a few different ways, and the general idea that we're looking for is this Veto Life Drain archetype. I played against this version of a deck. I've made some slight adjustments to it, of course. But I played against a version of this deck on the ladder once and was really surprised to see how it turned out. This was a deck that was just playing a veto and then trying to use things like the massive amount of life you can gain off of a Wild Growth Walker when properly supported with Exploration in order to drain your opponent out pretty quickly. There are some other versions of this that you'll see in the future. Some involve Weather the Storm and going for a Storm kill, and some involve just using Veto with Rally the Ancestors and some other synergies that go with this card in order to get a bunch of Soul Warden triggers, Soul Sisters triggers basically, in order to drain the table out that way. So we're going to look at the Wild Growth Walker and Explore package first, and hopefully we're going to find something that's pretty compelling here. So already, the main goal of the deck is pretty clear, right? We just have Veto, we have Wild Growth Walker as another way to gain life, and put A and B together, boom, you have a way to drain out the table. So Wild Growth Walker has a bunch of exploration things that can help us get there. We have Cenote Scout for these, 2 Jadelight Spelunkers. It's one of the new Ixalan cards, new in quotes, of course, since we've had Ixalan for quite a while by this point. This one can explore X times instead of just once, which is, maybe good in the late game. We're playing 2 of these as something that we can dump mana into later. Jadelight Ranger, always been a pretty good card in the Explore package. For 3 mana, you get 2 Explorers, so that's pretty much on rate with a Jadelight Spelunker for 2. And then the other one is basically Path of Discovery. This is one whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, it explores, so that's going to turn our Elvish Visionary and Spirited Companions, which draw cards, into draw 2 cards, which draw card plus do the exploration, which is pretty cool. And then you also have Delny Streetwise Lookout and Assemble the Players, since a lot of these cards enter the battlefield as just 1 and 2 power creatures. We're going to be trying to use those and double their triggers and just generally make those cards a little bit more useful, whereas, in general, they may not be the same power level as some of the Planeswalkers and such that we have. Most of these cards can be hit off of Collected Company pretty much, so that is good. We are a primarily creature-based deck. And really the other thing that we're doing, we have 3 axes. We have the Exploration package with Wild Growth Walker and these other exploration triggers. We have the 2 or less power synergy with Assemble the Players and Delny. And the final thing that we have is the Veto, Wild Growth Walker, and Amalia Benavides Aguirre combo, where Wild Growth Walker and Amalia is basically ends up with a one-sided board wipe, leaving you with a 21 power creature. Amalia is whenever you gain life, she explores, and Wild Growth Walker is when a creature you control explores, gain life. So those two basically just ping back and forth together. And you can basically just destroy the board and then attack in for lethal if your opponent can't do anything about it. And now if we play Veto and we have him on the board, then we basically can just set this up and then crack it off at any point to drain our opponent out. Now, this brings me into the final aspect of this deck, which is how we're going to be going about this when our opponent kills our stuff or counterspells us. Basically, we have 2 copies of Rally the Ancestors, which are going to be our last-ditch effort at comboing. This is a card that basically means that you get to bring things back from the graveyard to the battlefield. However, on your upkeep, they're going to die. So basically, anything you bring back with Rally the Ancestors won't necessarily get to attack because they won't have haste. So what you need to be able to do is to win the game before your next upkeep with the things that you bring onto the battlefield from the graveyard. And for us, that's going to be trying to get a Veto, Wild Growth Walker, and Amalia back. It will be enough to have Veto, Wild Growth Walker, and a bunch of other creatures. So that is something that could work as well. It'll also be very nice to just bring back a Veto and Delny in order to gain a bunch of value in case we just rip our first Rally the Ancestors and have really nothing else to do other than bring back a bunch of our stuff that got board wiped or whatever. So this is the Veto Exploration version of this Veto Drain archetype that I'm exploring. Hope you guys enjoy this one. Do try the deck list out in the description below. Like the video, comment on it, and subscribe if you're new for videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Let's hop into round 1. Here we go. Alright, it's round 1. Let's get in there. We have a tough one lander. It does cast our Jadelight Spelunker for 0, but I don't think I want to be doing that. We'll go down to 2 here, where I'll be able to have 2 colors of mana, probably green-white in this situation, and that'll get me Spirited Companion and Elvish Visionary to redraw. So that's nice. I am almost thinking that I don't want Delny. I'm also thinking I probably don't want Amalia right now. So we'll take a tapped Fabled Passage land. Unfortunately, we are merely in Historic, and we do not have the Timeless Fetch lands. Unfortunate. So we'll probably just play this as best we can with a white mana source here. I'll probably lead with the creature that is just a creature and not an enchantment in case there is... I think Feed the Swarm is the card that can kill enchantments. I would like to retain this 1/1 body at the very least. They might just get Fatal Push, so it's neither here nor there. Oh, red mana. Okay, so we actually find our 3rd land here. We're going to lay out a Delny here. And if she dies, it's fine. They've wasted a removal spell. Sure, Go for the Throat is a thing. That is 1 less Go for the Throat that can disrupt our combo turn. Would have liked to get a second Spirited Companion trigger, but it's okay. Actually, we're going to get to try it again here. Definitely not doing anything about that. They will get to discard 2, draw 2. I think out of the cards we've seen so far, I can't really tell what they're doing, just that they're red-black. They are going to get this treasure token. Oh, they're actually Grixis, okay. We're going to let them hit me for 2. And I'm hoping that the Spirited Companion does what I want it to do. And actually, instead, we have Collected Company. I'm going to swing in. See if they flash anything in here. Soakin's on to take out my Delny. Okay. We'll wait till they block. Then we'll Collected Company. They're actually deciding if they want to even block. That's interesting. I would think that Delny is probably a very easy kill. Yeah, there we go. Makes sense. Here's Collected Company. So we get Amalia and Spirited Companion. I think I might just take this 2 times redraw. Or actually, this would be 4 cards, so yeah, I think that is the move. Huge. We'll go back up to 7 cards, so this actually won't feel too bad. Path of Discovery is kind of big. So we can do Path of Discovery or Assemble the Players and Spirited Companion. Assemble the Players is nice because it gives me a chance to cast off the top of my library. And Assemble the Players is also pretty nice. Or sorry, just playing a veto and setting up is also pretty nice. Combo potential-wise, we're not quite there yet. I'll go for Assemble the Players because that's going to help me get a little bit of velocity through the deck. I'm going to take this Fabled Passage now. We have 2 sources, 3 sources of green, only 1 of black, but we can only fetch either white or green. I'll go for white here. I think we have the least amount of that. And the card on the top of the library is again a land, so that's unfortunate. Possibly we just go veto here. Yeah, veto. If I play veto, that does give me the random opportunity to hit both my combo pieces. We're just playing Grixis Control here, so we gotta watch out for Snapcaster Mage on Go for the Throat, which definitely can happen here. Looks like they just want to go in with these guys. I think they've already really gotten what they wanted to out of this card, and I'm not really interested in losing my veto, so I'll just take the 2. Sacrifice that, sure. And what do we have on top? It is not a card that we can cast. So I think we want to go Collected Company or Path of Discovery. It's kind of a toss-up. I'll be able to get 2 spells out. I think I'd probably just want to do Path of Discovery plus Spirited Companion. This kind of just sets me up. It's like not really... We could try to reach for the combo, but I don't think I want to do that. We get a land here, and we get a veto. Okay. Send Out Scout is on the top of our library. We don't attack. So barring them just wiping my whole board here, I'd say we're in an okay situation. Vito could gain life next turn. That would represent only 5 life drain for me, though. So that's not great. They've got a lot of mana over there. And I'm a little bit worried about what they can do with it. So they're going to copy the same play of the Reflection token. Or the Shaman token, rather. I think that I'm okay just blocking. No, I'm not. They, like I said last time, they've gotten what they wanted to out of this creature token. I'm okay with taking a little bit of life. We can gain it back. And I'm hoping that Collected Company's got some good things for me coming this next turn. This could be Transmogrify. That's not something that I ever see in Timeless, but definitely this was a thing in Historic. Notably, I believe that Rakdos... Oh, Explosive Singularity. Okay, I'm dead. That was a bit of a surprise. Okay. Well, yeah, I guess that's a thing that can happen to you in this game. Definitely not on my radar of things that can happen, but very cool Kamigawa card. Do love a big win the game spell right there. And yeah, we were exactly at 10, so if I had blocked with the Spirited Companions, would have been alive here. Would have loved to see what the next cards coming off the top of the library were after Senout Scout, because we had Collected Company into Spirited Companion, which could trigger Exploration. I felt like we were pretty close there, just kind of got jumped over at the finish line there. It is what it is. Here comes round 2. Let's try to see if we can get this combo to go off. Alright, this is round 2. Let's try to make it work. We have one of the 3 combo pieces, a Rally the Ancestors that we could hold in hand, and 2 lands that get us just a Jadelight Spelunker into play. Historic is a slower format. This may end up being a hand that we can keep without dying. Definitely not taking this one in Timeless. That is a quicker format. We have a bit more leeway here. And actually we'll be able to even play the Spirited Companion and dig for another land. Found that land, alright. That means Jadelight Ranger coming next as we look for another land. If we draw land for turn, I am potentially happy playing Veto, but not really. I think I'd rather just play Jadelight Ranger. I've changed my mind. So this could be Red Legends, it could, or sorry, Rule Legends, it could also just be some sort of, I'm playing a bunch of aggro creatures. Things change now with this Delny draw. I'm going to use Jadelight Ranger next turn. We'll keep Spirited Companion back to block. That's probably going to be what it's good for until we Rally the Ancestors eventually. Alright. If Ruby attacks, I think I'm not blocking with Delny because that means they have a combat trick. Okay, cool. So no combat tricks as of right now. I think I will use my life total as a resource here, go down to 14. And then we can probably just play a Jadelight Ranger unless we draw that land. Ooh, we do draw the land. I think I'll play this one tapped here and just go Jadelight Ranger. So big trigger, we get 4 Explorers here if I'm doing my trigger math correctly. Nice. Here we go, here we go. So this could be a very big Jadelight Ranger. Amalia on the top. Do I want to play her? I don't think so yet. We're going to mill her away. Collected Company is good to have. I think I will just end up taking that one. So we'll get 2 more counters on the Jadelight Ranger. They need to accept this trigger. Boom, boom. Alright, so that's a 6/5 for 3 mana. Definitely a very, very good investment here with Delny Streetwise Lookout. And I think I'm just going to pass. No attacks. So we now have a creature that can block effectively. They have an awkward attack. We have the time that we need. And I'm likely just holding up the Collected Company next turn. Especially if they don't kill Delny this turn. sure. This is the one that just temporarily buffs something, I think. Oh, no, this is a permanent buff with counters. Okay. So Halana is going to be a problem. 2 counters onto anything. Probably Galia, the Endless Dance. Okay. And then what is the can't be blocked? Not really sure what that was. We have Collected Company to hold here, so I'm just going to pass through. Can surprise them on the attack potentially. Halana and Elena probably should just be putting counters on themselves as we kind of just sit and stare at each other here. What is Ruby going to be doing? Not adding mana, it seems. So it's going to be interesting to see how my opponent decides to start playing this. The One Ring, that's definitely a thing that could happen. I guess it would be technically correct to Collected Company before the One Ring resolves, since Veto does target. They can shock Delny here if they have it. Nice. So that's Veto and Amalia. That's pretty solid, actually. Not the card that I was hoping for, honestly. But this is still nice. So maybe I go for the draw card and Explores instead. We actually have both of these cards that we need. So we'll get to take a look here. Let's see if we want what we find on the top with Cenote Scout, and then we'll draw after. Jadelight Ranger, is that better drawn or in the graveyard to be brought back with Rally? I think this is probably better in the graveyard. Wildgrowth Walker, we do want. So now I gotta figure out what I want to do here. So I can play Veto on my following turn. I'd have to wait a turn after that in order to bring back everything from the graveyard, but I would have the combo online with Wildgrowth Walker and Jadelight Ranger. Yeah, we're going to mill this. I would like to try to win through Rally the Ancestors. I think that's a pretty cool way to do this. So we'll give it a try like that. We have 2 draws here, and then they resolve their One Ring. We actually just get another Wildgrowth Walker. That's great. And another Cenote Scout. So we can gain a bunch of life here. We should be able to buffer ourselves until we're able to win with Rally the Ancestors, I hope. Alright, things are definitely getting bigger. I think it's probably incorrect to put anything on a creature that's not Halana if you don't plan to attack. Opponent's got protection here, so we're just going to do a setup turn. This will be starting with a Cenote Scout. So if we draw a land, trigger, we do find a land, nice. And then Rally the Ancestors, I mean, we probably just want that one in hand. We'll go Cenote Scout, here's Veto, here's Cenote Scout. And we are so very close. That was actually wrong. I wanted Wildgrowth Walker first, and then Cenote Scout, and then Veto next turn. Whoops. Well, we'll pass here while our opponent just stares at us. I'm hoping that it's not one big over-the-top play from them, because that's probably the one thing that we can't beat. Graveyard still does hold the Amalia, so this next turn is the one where we should be able to do it. They draw. Halana, here she comes. Yeah, definitely if they had just been putting all the triggers on Halana, it would be good. They're probably just worried about like a large attack or something like that. Okay, so this is Rally the Ancestors. We'll be able to cast it for 3. And the boomstick should go off here. We have one exploration creature that is going to be coming back, so that will start the trigger off. Otherwise, we'll need to be able to gain life somehow. And in this deck, unless you add the life gain lands to the mana base, which is neither here nor there for me, because they come in tapped, that would be one way that you'd be able to start this this thing off. Trigger. and then trigger veto. And that's lethal. A lot of triggers to click through here. Our opponent may not want to do it. If they end up roping me out here, which already seems like it's what they're going to do, I guess I'll go ahead and say, great round 2, we were able to combo. Oh, no, they're here. They're being nice. We'll start to mill ourselves a little bit, just in case it ends up mattering. Oh, yeah, there we go. Love a good combo deck. And that is it. Thank you to opponent for staying. Definitely some people especially in Historic, really just like to rope you out. I got roped by a mill deck like literally the recording right before this. But overall, good matchup. Opponent was on something interesting, and we were able to combo in the end. This is what it feels like to be back in Historic. It's kind of a fun time. You get to play the things that are not as competitive as what you see in Timeless. And for that reason, there's a lot more interesting games with cool jank, cool decks, and just a lot of interesting things overall. Here's round 3 coming up right now. Here we go. All right, round 3. Here we go. So far, things have been nice. We have another round coming up with a decent starting hand, I will say. We'll go for a Send Out Scout to start, and we'll use Endotha Triumph to build up here. We get to skip 1 or 2 mana, or we get to skip the 2 mana curve because we don't have a 2-drop. Could see if that changes. Chandra's Pyroling means that this will be a very, very aggressive deck. They're going to be playing the Ruin Blasters or whatever that card is called, something Bombardment. We'll put in a tapped land, play another Send Out Scout. We still cannot block the Pyroling, so that's a bit scary. I'm going to start dishing some stuff into the graveyard here as we try to filter for our combo pieces. And more or less just look for our 2 of Reanimation Spell. Other than that, we can go turn 3 Delny or Jadelight Ranger, depending on what we're feeling. Something's gaining haste here. Probably not great. There's the Cavalcade that I was thinking of. 2 things go in. The Chandra's Pyroling gets big. We do actually have a 2-drop now with Assemble the Players. I'll drop it out first. I think I'd like to see if I can find our 3rd Send Out Scout on top. We cannot. So we'll put in a tapped land, and we'll set up for Collected Company next turn. Chandra Spitfire. Yikes. That is going to hit me for, if not lethal, then lethal next turn, I believe, right? All right, let's see these triggers. Chandra's Spitfire and Pyroling get big. Yeah, so we got to chump block the Pyroling. Yeah, so this is basically going to be a 2-turn clock here. We go like bang, and we go like bang. Okay. Down to 2. Can we survive? Not off of that land, we can't. We can shuffle it away. And I think we actually would just need to hit all 3 combo pieces if we want to survive. Well, we might as well do it while our death is on the stack. So I will see what they want to do here. Torbran, all right. Well, we are absolutely dead after attacks. Let's see if we can win at instant speed on our opponent's turn. I'm feeling lucky. I'm not, but maybe I am. Oh, we only find 1. Dang. That was close. We gave it a try. We will draw a card and see what we get. It's another Collected Company with a Wildgrowth Walker underneath. Unfortunately, not enough for the Chandra's Spitfire. Yeah, I mean, definitely continuing in the theme of seeing some very cool old historic decks that are still clanking around here in the full format. All right, that's round 3 all done. Here comes round 4. Round 4. We've got a Delny, a Veto, Spirited Companion, and Assemble the Players. Little low on the lands. If we're allowed to draw a land and get Assemble the Players in, I think I'll be happy. If we don't draw the land, I'm okay to use Spirited Companion to try to find a 3rd. It's not the worst. Ooh, okay, so we have a Belcher matchup. My guess is it's probably Izzet. That was always the most popular in this format. We have a slow third land here. That means probably I'm playing Assemble the Players. Just for information. Oh, possibly not, actually. Fearsome Whelp. This is Dragons, in fact. They're just playing Shatter Skull as a utility land. Alright, well, we need to play a turn 2 spell. Top is a land. Might as well attack. They're probably going to play a big creature at some point. I think this will be similarly quick to Belcher, in fact. Carnelian Orb. That means that we can have Goldspan Dragon coming down next turn. Yeah, so we can go Fable Passage. Fetch, find black, except we can't find black. We don't have a black basic. Oh, wait, no, we do. We do play one. Did not yield me something off the top, so it'll be Spirited Companion, drawing that land away. We're now set up for Collected Company. I might want to play Delny first. Let's see how scary of a board they amass. Another Orb of Dragonkind, okay. I actually didn't know about the straight up Orb of Dragonkind. That is a good card. Alright, so Godless Shrine. I think I'll play the Triumph, get a Delny out, and then just go for mad value on the Collected Company. If they have a Dragon Fire or whatever the dragon removal spell is. We could lose our Delny. Okay, Miriam, yep. Terror the Peaks. Yikes. Double yikes. We're going to lose Delny here in a way that I didn't really expect to lose her. We go to 11, and then we'll die next turn. So it really comes down to this Collected Company. Is there something that I can find that wins me the game here? I do not know. I think it's worth Fabled Passage. We want to thin out the library a little bit and clear this land. We'll get green. There is a Wild Growth Walker on top. I unfortunately can't play Collected Company and that. I could play Veto in that, I could play Delny in that, but none of that really works out for me, so it has to just be Collected Company here. I am going to wait until they attack in and try to see if I can sneak a little bit of life gain around this. They have haste. Things just got bad. Oh, that goes to face. Okay, we're almost certainly dead here. Yeah, I don't think I can, there's nothing I can really rip here, can I? Okay, we just actually only hit one card. That's gnarly. Alright, well, we're dead. That's a tough one. Playing dragons, I mean, I think every deck that we've played against so far has been very, very interesting. Definitely one of the worst performances of the deck so far. This is definitely by no means a very quick deck. You could probably make some changes to it and speed it up a tiny little bit, but I mean, I'm already playing the most efficient Explore creatures. We'll kind of have to see if other versions of the deck have that speed aspect. One that I'm thinking of is based on the green-black Necropotence shell, except that is that's going to be a timeless deck, not historic. But that one can involve a little Storm plan with Weather the Storm and Wild Growth Walker. But it is pretty difficult to get Wild Growth Walker and Veto out, so not sure that that's going to really work for us, but we'll see. At any rate, that's our round 4. We'll have one final round coming up here for this league. Here we go. All right, this is round 5, the 5th and final one. Path of Discovery's here in this hand. We don't really have a turn 2 play or a third land. I'm a little bit awkward with this one. Opponent mulligans, and that puts me in an interesting situation. Rally the Ancestors is not really a card right now, both in terms of the mana that I can use to play it and the fact that it's a card that requires a graveyard setup. I think that we probably don't take this hand since opponent's mulliganed. We find a much better hand in this, I think. I don't want veto yet. We'll probably just take our heavy card draw. And looks like we get a free game here. Opponent did not want to go to 5 with me at 6. Kind of surprising there. I'm going to go ahead and queue us one more time, see if we can just get right back into a game. The queues have been pretty quick so far, so this shouldn't be too long. And yeah, we'll give it about 10 seconds in the queue. If we're not there by then, I will re-record the intro. But looks like we find one in only 6 seconds, so that was pretty nice. A lot of people playing tonight. It is actually the day before leap year, February 29th right now as I record this. And hopefully we have some good luck coming here. It's actually 11:58 on the 28th, so as I play this game, we'll be on into the leap year, so that'll be fun. I will keep 7 here. We have almost collected company. I'm pretty sure we should be able to get to collected company, and then rally the ancestors is in hand for later. I like what I see. So we get to play the Senate Scout now. I will set up for Jadelight Spelunker for 2. Do I want Path of Discovery? I think I want another land more than anything else, so we'll put that away. Not for this game. I think I have not gotten it into play except for the first round. So things change now that we see a Delny. That will be my it'll be my turn 3 play. Not third play. And then we'll use Jadelight Spelunker after the fact if we don't get our land for collected company. Opponent has a blue mana source, so we might lose our spell here. Totally fine if that's the case, though. Just Tainted Indulgence, so this might be Reanimator. Okay. Good to know, good to know. That means they're probably not taking as much in the way of counter spells in this deck. It's actually a big score, so maybe Grixis Control, but not really Grixis Control. It'd be like Grixis mid-range or a combo deck. Maybe they go for some big mana play and just try to storm off. I know that I've played a lot of versions of things like that in the past. So Wild Growth Walker is actually really interesting here. That would set me up for a lot of life gain with Jadelight Spelunker. I kind of want to attack in, see if they flash anything in, and then just sit a Wild Growth Walker down. Is that being too greedy? Maybe that is being too greedy. I think I just need to play this because I need to find that 4th land. This would be a huge counterspell for my opponent. They don't have it, so this is great. We get to explore 4 times for 3 mana. Just another Tainted Indulgence, okay. Thanking my lucky stars, there's not a counterspell in that deck, it appears. They're looking at Jadelight Spelunker like they want to do something to it. Oh, are we reanimating the... Oh, wait, do I want the Senate Scout? I don't think I do. Are we reanimating a Nicol Bolas? Oh, I find a lot of lands here. That's good. So, Bolas might come back. We want to avoid them getting to 7 mana by all means possible. They probably have... Oh, that's unfortunate. The Exile specifically is brutal. We actually find our second Path of Discovery here, and I almost think that that's now the time that we want to play it. This will just be a great value play for us in the long run, makes all of our cards just a little bit better. This collected company should hit really hard. So will the Wild Growth Walker that we can play alongside it. Then in the graveyard, nothing set up so far. Out of our combo package, we've really lost nothing. Just one of our 4 Downleys. So I'd say we're in a good spot. 18 life to their 12. So I think we were playing Grixis Control with Nicol Bolas Planeswalkers. Opponent might be giving us the rope here. Hopefully they're just away for a short period of time. But if it's a really bad one, then I'll go ahead and edit the video. Hope they are here. Okay, so that's going to be Nicol Bolas Dragon God. What can I exile from my hand? It's probably one collected company. We need most of the other things in our hand. We will pay 2 life for this, play a Wild Growth Walker. We will explore, getting rid of a Spirited Companion. A little bit of life here, and let's go for Collected Company now. On their end step, actually. We'll see if Bolas decides to minus for killing our Wild Growth Walker. That could set up a attack for us, possibly. It's a bit awkward, though, because I want to play Collected Company not in their main phase when they can cast another Anger of the Gods. But I also don't want them to... Oh, nice. They actually don't -3 Nicol Bolas. I'm good to get rid of the Spirited Companion.
I outsmarted you eons ago.
They do have removal for this, so I'm going to play my Collected Company now and try to gain some life. Is now when they have a counterspell? No, it's not, thankfully. So lots of exploration happening. We're going to gain a bunch of life. And hopefully we'll draw some cards in the process. Okay, fine. We lose one of these. It's okay. It's okay. Veto, let's put him in the graveyard. That's 2 out of 3 combo pieces. And we're going to lose both of these guys, sadly. Might need to just be a value Rally the Ancestors, unfortunately. Put a land. And we're left with just a 2/2. Consider... I'm trying to think if it's going to be worth it to just go ahead and crack off a Rally for 3. Could be good. We'll draw 2 cards. We'll get 1 Explore that triggers Wild Growth Walker, so that's 6 life. Then we put them to 6, which is actually very good. Oh no, we actually just killed them with Path of Discovery. Oh, heck yeah. Okay, so let's go ahead and test this out with an attack on Nicol Bolas, see if we can bait a card out of their hand. That hopefully is a go for the throat. Alright. And that actually means we even do get this Elvish Visionary back. So we're going to go Rally for 3. Auto pay. Leaving 2 mana up here for Spell Pierce. Consider, they're going to Surveil and draw. And I think we have it. There goes a Shieldred. And here comes everything back. Alright. So let's explore. Let's gain some life. And let's kill our opponent. Alright. Pretty sweet combo. We got it back with the Rally the Ancestors. That was awesome. Pretty awesome game to end it off there. I overall had a really good time with this deck, and I hope that you guys did too. Definitely a cool build, and I really want to see if I can take it to a higher power level. I'm going to definitely be back here in some of these later videos with different versions of this Veto Life Drain deck. I really liked the Explore package with Wild Growth Walker. That has been a favorite of mine all the way since back in the Ixalan Standard days when that was a viable strategy. And it's cool to see that there are some places for it here, if not in Timeless, then definitely in Historic. Pretty cool deck here, pretty cool games. Hope you guys enjoyed. Like the video, comment, and subscribe if you're new for videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And that's all from me. I'll see you in the next video.